North America, home to over 1,000 indigenous people groups. For nearly 60 years, UIM International has worked to plant biblical churches among Native peoples in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The history has been long, full of struggles and triumphs. But how is God working through UIM today, and what does the future hold? UIM's story begins in 1956. The mission, to establish indigenous churches that function within their own cultural context, has remained the same since those early days. But the means to achieve that mission are many. Summer camps, homeless shelters, aviation, and pastor training. All these efforts and more serve the greater purpose of reaching Native people groups with the gospel. With God's blessing, this work has yielded tremendous fruit. Today, for example, UIM's Mexico field is home to a growing number of national missionaries, like Javier Flores. Javier's ministry among the people of Jalisco, Mexico, is an example of what the future holds for UIM.
Soy indígena mayo. He tenido el gusto de saber lo que soy. Ahorita nos dirigimos hacia los árboles. Es un rancho donde hay gente que necesita escuchar el mensaje de Dios.
Javier's active ministry includes courses in theological education by extension, which he teaches in several locations in the region. This provides biblical training to people who otherwise wouldn't have access to such resources.
Ese es mi deseo, de que ellos les nazca de corazón el servirle a Dios y puede ser que por ahí Dios pueda surgir más semillas para Dios.
Everywhere, UIM is seeking to raise up a new generation of Native leaders. In the Navajo Nation, the birthplace of UIM, young believers are catching a vision for their own people.
Reaching Native people has always been really important to me because I'm a Native person myself. So being able to just see the gospel being presented to my people, it just excites me because it's a sense of it makes it personal for me.
I use basketball camps here in the reservation in this area because kids who grow up in this area love basketball. And so I use basketball to reach those kids and to teach them the fundamentals of basketball. But in that, I correlate and present the gospel as well there at a camp. And I tell them my testimony, tell them I love basketball, I love teaching it, and I love the game, but I also love Christ, and I love, this is my hope, and that's Christ.
My name is Jacob Gonzalez. I pastor a church in Thiru, New Mexico, which is on the Navajo Reservation. I've been there for 12 years. UIM has been faithful. That's one thing that I've seen. They have a long-standing relationship with many people in this area. A lot of the ministries, or missionaries I should say, have been faithful for decades. They've been out here. And that's good, that's a good thing. Because I've also seen other missionaries who come and go. For people to reach Native groups, they need to be there over the long haul. Not just to preach at them, but to actually be there for them. That's so important. And I've seen that with UIM.
Throughout North America, UIM's ministries work together to serve this mission. Summer camps expose young people to the gospel in a unique way. A growing aviation ministry transports missionaries, especially indigenous pastors and Bible translators in Mexico, enabling them to reach their own people in remote areas. And faithful missionaries represent Christ in word and deed, persevering for many years or decades in hard-to-reach places. Today, with the power of the Holy Spirit, UIM looks toward a future of fruitful ministry. Join us in praying, giving, and serving the cause of reaching the Native peoples of North America with the gospel of Jesus Christ.